There's been a lot of talk about Clarence Thomas in the wake of the, I think, indisputable evidence that he's on the hook for his billionaire buddy Harlan Crow. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't have his defenders. Possibly the most breathless defense that I've seen comes, of course, from the editorial board of the Wall Street Journal, which published an editorial. This is an official thing. They don't often do this at these magazines, called "The Smearing of Clarence Thomas. The left gins up another phony ethics assault to tarnish the Supreme Court." And I just want to read a little bit of this. The full thing is available, of course, but they say the left's assault on the Supreme Court is continuing. And the latest front is the news that Justice Clarence Thomas has a rich friend who has hosted the justice on his private plane, his yacht, and his vacation resort. That's it. That's the story. Yet this non-bombshell has triggered breathless claims that the court must be investigated and that Justice Thomas must resign or be impeached. Those demands give away the real political game here. And this is my favorite part. This is the whole reason I want to read this. The piece is loaded with words and phrases intended to convey that this is all somehow disreputable. Super yacht, luxury trips, exclusive California all-male retreat, sprawling ranch, private chefs, elegant accommodation, opulent lodge, lavishing the justice with gifts, and more. Adjectival, I guess, I've never seen that word used that way. Overkill is the method of bad polemicists who don't have much to report. First of all, yes, there are some adjectives there. Would you like to take issue with any of them specifically? Are any of them inaccurate? Because I feel like all of those things are true. You don't seem to really have a problem with the adjectives. You seem to have a problem with the fact that we know about it at all. They go on to say the most ProPublica can come up with is that, quote, Crow has deep connections in conservative politics. And I would like to respond by saying that is so not the most they came up with. Like specifically they came up with that the way that he has deep connections in conservative politics is that for decades, he has been involved in a multi-million-dollar national effort to reshape the judiciary, which seems kind of relevant when you're best buds with a Supreme Court justice. Weird that the Wall Street Journal editorial board would go so unreasonably vague with their description, almost as if they're defensive about what ProPublica actually found. What ProPublica found, by the way, is the sort of thing that, I don't know, a journalistic outlet like the Wall Street Journal maybe should have found, but notably did not. And look at how defensive they are of one of the biggest, most obvious cases of conflict of interest and what I would just, it's bribery. He's bribing him to do what he wants and bribing his wife, by the way. Let's not leave that out of the picture. Sorry, Wall Street Journal, if I use too many adjectives there. What do you think?
It's incredible. I love that this little tidbit, they're so fragile. Oh my God, rich people are so fragile. Just save yourself and save all the ink and just get a big old crayon and write, don't take tax break, please. Just write, help corporation need help too, please. Like that's all you gotta do because that's what we're reading, buddy. Like we see you, editorial board of the Wall Street Journal. It's so obvious that you're afraid somehow that, by the way, I totally support the impeachment efforts. I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm glad that it's a discussion, but like they're already preemptively afraid that like, again, they'll have to forfeit any of their massive wealth and all of the people who read it only to be comforted and told that, yes, your massive wealth, you earned it all yourself.
Yeah, we always have to bear in mind the actual stakes that are being fought for. For many people watching the show, the stakes in these issues are literal life and death. At the very least, the quality of your life, whether you get to retire with dignity, whether you get to own a home, whether you get to go to college, that sort of thing. For them, it's whether their yacht is 10 feet shorter.
Yeah.
Like it's irrelevant. They'll still have the yacht. They'll still have the mansions. They'll still have
super anymore.
It's not. Hey, that's an adjective, okay? Back off, lady. They'll still have the accommodation. Who knows if it's elegant? They'll have chefs. Are they private or are they public chefs? Did you take issue with private chefs? I don't get to use the chef, thus it's private. If you want it to be public, then make it available to our audience. I would love to have someone cook me some food. Anyway, yeah, we'll see. I don't have a lot of hope for impeachment or whatever, but it is important that people understand, again, how significant who gets on the Supreme Court is and how corrupt the entire process is.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.